have some opportunity to, maybe give them more negative plays that way. But they stayed right there and kept running the option, and it was successful for them. And they checked about every play based on what we were doing. And, I still think that when it comes right down to it, I still think when we look at the film, it's going to be about playing the blockers. I try to convince our players that you got to play the blockers, you got to strike the blockers up front. And I think that, we were soft at times. And I think guys were worried about reading, whether I got to close for the dive or, the guy's arcing me, so I'm supposed to play the quarterback. And we were probably too aggressive on the quarterback at times, and, that made the ball get pitched, and there was nobody out in the alley. And that's where they make most of their big plays. So, but, our players, there was nothing about what our players did this week. They respected this, and they worked hard to try to get this stuff right. It's just difficult to defend, especially when you don't play against a bunch.
Coach, you did have to put some guys in on the defensive line that didn't have a lot of experience. I want to ask you specifically how it looked to you that Brandon Ivory did today. Brandon
Ivory did a good job. I mean, really. And, sometimes you get snake bit at a position. Josh Chapman has been, playing all year long with a bad knee, and doctors felt like we needed to shut him down and try to give him some time to heal up, which we did. So that decision got made right after the last game. And he was not going to play in this game. Then, for violation of team rules and policies, we suspend the guy. Then Brandon Ivory missed 2 days of practice this week because he twisted his knee in practice. He was the next guy to go in. So we moved Jesse to nose guard, which he did a really good job, would have done a good job. He gets food poisoning and gets sick last night, and he's up all night. And we're down to, we moved Billingsley in there, who, we practiced some at nose guard. This is an emergency, but he does a pretty good job when he plays 3 and 5 technique, because that's what he plays all the time. And this kind of offense, the way they're, coming off the ball low and scramble blocking you all the time, you need to have some guys in there. And then when Jesse's not playing, when he's playing those, he's not playing 5 technique. So we got a different guy playing 5 technique. So, Square was really the only guy that was playing where he plays.
On their touchdown pass, anything specific happened there, breakdown-wise?
Well, do you want me to explain it all to you about this offense and how you got to swarm the coverages and all that kind of stuff? I mean, nobody's going to understand it. All right, the guy arcs to block the corner. All right, so on the motion, you swarm them to 3 corner on both sides. All right, and then they run a diagonal takeoff. The guy that's coming out there blocking you every time is a corner. All right, well, you got to figure out that he's not blocking me this time, and he's running a diagonal takeoff. All right, so, Dre came, he ran a diagonal takeoff and went right behind. All right, Mark is supposed to be rolling over in a deep third, and he fell down. So, that's what happened. And I hope we don't see that play again.
They went for it on 4th down 3 times. They made it twice. The 3rd time, obviously, they didn't. Can you just talk about those plays?
Well, it was 4th and inches, 4th and 1. And I mean, when you play this offense, you know that if it's 3rd down and 6 or less, they're playing the game to go for it on 4th down. They're going to try to gain 3 or 4 yards on 3rd down, and it's going to make it 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and they're going to go for it on 4th down. I mean, it went forward in bad field positions too, but it was 4th and 1. So you got to make a decision. Do we want to play the kind of defense that we could stop the quarterback sneak on? But if they did run a quarterback sneak, they may get a big play because you're going to minimize the number of guys you have on the perimeter. All right, so we tried not to do that, and they ran a couple quarterback sneaks and made 1st down. So, but I mean, the key is giving this offense negative plays. When we gave them negative plays and they got behind at a down distance, that's when we stopped them every time. And when we didn't do that, we couldn't create the situations where it wasn't a 4-down situation, where they got to gain 2.5 yards. And so they did a good job.
How bad is Will Lowry's injury, and what do you do to
Excuse
fill that
me?
spot? How bad is Will Lowry's injury, and what do you do to fill that spot?
Well, I mean, Will Lowry got a knee, obviously, and come back in the game. We'll take him for an MRI tomorrow, and, you know, we'll see for sure what it is, you know, then, but it's not promising. I think he's the only guy that got hurt today. You know, it'll be nice to get some of our players back. You know, hopefully Barrett Jones, hopefully Hanks, hopefully, you know, Gentry and Andrew White, you know, and Chapman. I mean, we played a little short-handed out there in some spots today at receiver and the defensive line.
All we heard last night on SportsCenter, all we heard on game day today was Alabama's in the national championship. Were you worried about losing your team's focus?
I really addressed the team about that this morning, and you know, I told our players before any of this ever happened, all right, that the legacy of the seniors that have won 45 games here since they've been here, won a national championship, would completely get defined if we didn't get everybody's best effort in this game. That we needed everybody's best effort so that our team could function and that we could play well in this game. All right, so when what happened, I told everybody this morning, that hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. You know, we have 2 games to play. We're asking everybody, do you know what your best is? And we need your best for the rest of this season and in this game today. All right, for what we can control and what we can do. And that's how we need to play. So nothing's changed. Nothing changed from our perspective. Not from what we can do, not how we play. That's what we control. And I didn't think that we played very well in the first half, but we played a lot better in the second half, other than the kickoff return.
Now you get into the Auburn week. Is it inconceivable to think something could overshadow this game with the national championship talk?
Well, we're not worried about the national championship. We're worried about the next game. All right, because none of that stuff matters if you don't take care of your business and win the next game. I mean, every game that we play, and regardless of how many opportunities we have to play and what happens someplace else, it's about how we play in the games, how we prepare, how we get ready to play, and us going and playing our best football. That's what we control. That's what we need to do. None of that other stuff really matters. It really doesn't matter, because if you don't do that, it really, what happens? You don't have the opportunity. You have to play well. You got to be the best player you can be. We got to be the best team that we can be, and everybody's got to stay focused on that. You know, we tell the players there is no scoreboard. We're competing one play at a time in every game to dominate the competition. That's what we're trying to do. That's the mindset that we want to have as a football team. And when you start thinking about that, you're looking at the scoreboard. That's what you're looking at. So we really don't want that. And I know that's hard for you all to understand, because that's all you think about, and that's all I get asked about. But all I care about is how our team plays. Because I have no control over any of that stuff. I got one vote.
Last one, Bill.
Coach, because Georgia Southern, what they do, I guess, is kind of unorthodox, is it doubtful that another team could take some of the concepts that they did and actually use them to hurt you guys?
No, I don't think it's, you know, everybody, we see options all the time. All right, but we don't see wishbone concepts in the offense, you know, like we saw today. And the formation variations are different, the motions are different, and it's completely different. And I think that it would be difficult for somebody to do that in a short period of time, because the thing that makes them good is they have a good concept in offense, but they execute it extremely well, and they know the offense inside out. You know, Jeff has been with Paul Johnson for 13 years, at Georgia Southern, at Navy, and at Georgia Tech before he took this job. So they have 13 years, he has 13, and the 2 years he's been there, they're 19 and 6 or whatever. I mean, he has 15 years of knowledge in what they do. They know what play to call, what blocking scheme to use on however you line up in the front, what they're going to do when you're in 30, what they're going to do when you're in a 3-4, what they're going to do when you're in a 4-3. So they know what they're going to do, and they do a really good job of executing it. Could somebody else in a week's time execute that like they do? I think it would be difficult. As difficult as it was for us to execute on defense like we needed to stop it on a consistent basis. Even though we got better as the game went on, I really believe that.
Thanks, Coach.